Tonight, the Emerald City Seventh-day Adventist Church proudly presents ECC Live with your host, Henry Arthur Jenkins Jr. Tonight's special guest, a first grade teacher, Amni. Tonight's musical guest, the hip-hop, hard-hitting sounds of Mission. And now, born in Houston, Texas, raised right here in the Emerald City, he's short and karma brown, and God has smiled on him. Stand to your feet and show your love for Henry Arthur Jenkins Jr.
A lot of things have happened. This past year, a whole lot of stuff that went down. One thing that stood out most in my mind was this young man who got let off for, I think, what was it, affluenza? You guys know about that? You know, he hit some people, and I think he killed like 4 people, and then he got off on it. Because his lawyer, his defense was that he had been so rich that he didn't know right from wrong. And that was the defense. Now, I want to just warn everybody, if you're African American, that can't be your defense. You can't go, I got affluent. It's the Aflac. I got that Aflac. So that's just a warning. Just warning y'all now. Because here on ECC Live, we believe in education. Education is the number one important thing. So right now, I'm going to educate you on the top 5 ways you know you need Jesus. Now, you might be saying, well, you know, Henry, I go to church and I give Bible studies and I work closely with the pastor, but you still might be doing something that you need Jesus. And so it's up to me in ECC Live to let you know the top 5 ways you know you need Jesus. So here we go. Number 5, you know you need Jesus when the only time you go to church is when you bought some new clothes. You need Jesus. You need him in your life. That's the only time you go to church. I just bought this. I'm going to be there early in the morning, too. Right in the parking lot, hopping out the car. Number 4, you know you need Jesus when you're never at church, but you always got something negative to say about the church. You need him. You need him. Number 3, you know you need Jesus when you base your blessing on who's preaching. Y'all think about that. Think about it. You need Jesus. We got to get some people saved in here tonight. Come on now. That's what we all about. Number 2, you know you need Jesus when you lie about how you got saved. You need Jesus, trying to make it all exciting. You know, Jesus pulled me up from the mountain and he just lived. Knowing good and well you got saved in your grandma's house on a Wednesday night prayer meeting. No reason to lie about it. Just be real. Just be real. Now, the number 1 way you know you need Jesus, if you're doing this, you need him in your life. You know you need Jesus when you use the bathroom and don't wash your hands and go and serve at a potluck. Come on now. That's just nasty. That's beyond needing Jesus. And if you ain't laughing, you know you accidentally did one of these times you forgot to put some soap on your hands, just ran it under the water, went out and served some potato chips. This is for nacho. You need Jesus if you're doing that. Now, if you did in one of these 5 things, you need Jesus, you need to contact your local church and get saved, because I want to see y'all all in heaven. And if you get there and you don't see me, you ain't in heaven. Check your boarding pass. You're in the wrong spot. All right, give me some music. Let me tell y'all who's on the show tonight. We got a wonderful show tonight. You guys got some music for me? I like the song I came into. Here we go. Yeah, that's all right. Let's have a good time. You guys ready to have a good time? Are you guys ready to have a good time? All right, all right. Tonight we have on the show a young lady who's a first grade teacher in a Title I school. Amni is on the show tonight. Show her some love. All right. And we have our musical guest who's a hot rapper. She's been rapping for a while. She's on the show tonight. Mission is in the house tonight. All right. Now, when I say God is good, I want y'all to say all the time. But I don't mean all the time like he's only good on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I mean like he's good all the time. Every day of the week. God is good. Come on now, y'all. That's only on Thursday. God is good. Then live it like you believe it. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Henry Arthur Jenkins Jr., and you are watching ECC Live, Christ Out of the Box.
All right, we're back. And now, to get blessed in music, please show some love for Mission.
Hurdles get in my way, don't trip, it's alright. You help me over it like a dot on the small eye. Cannot lie, there's been times that I wanted to just give up. Trials get annoying and don't go away like the hiccups. Good times or bad times, I'm down for life, that's what I choose. Never going back, my choice is permanent like tattoos. Lace up my track shoes, keep moving in the race. Never stop running, no matter what it takes. I run on like a long sentence with no commas. In it for the long distance, that's no drama. Word to my mama, in it for the long haul. Got too much invested for me to stop or stall. On the move now, might got off to a slow start, but greater is he that's in me. Believe that with my whole heart. That's why I live for him till my days are done. You ain't gotta ask me Jesus, cause you're the one. 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 That's why I live for him till my days are done. You ain't gotta ask me Jesus, cause you're the one. If you need to be set free, trust me, yo, Jesus can. Wanna shake that bondage, he delivers like the pizza man. Yo, we paid the price, give more credit than the Visa can. So I walk with him, all of the ground is just sinking sand. I depend on him, best believe he's my anchor. He always holds me down, Lord, and I just wanna thank you. Jesus dropped the charges, yes, he beat my case. Thanks to the cross, all my sins can be erased. Got that soap opera feeling, cause he's my guiding light. If I just follow him, I know that he will guide me right. He's like the moon in the sky, cause he brightens up the night. Even when it's dark out, I know it's gonna be alright. Embrace me with his love, I can feel his arms. He's always on time, no reminders or alarms. That's why I live for him till my days are done. You ain't gotta ask me Jesus, cause you're the one. 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 That's why I live for him till my days are done. You ain't gotta ask me Jesus, cause you're the one. Jesus, you're the one. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Flesh be rising up, but yeah, I'm killing it. Repping for Christ. That's who I'm rocking with. Don't sweat the darts of fire, cause the shield of faith is blocking it. You're the one, come on, you come first. And living without you, I can't think of nothing worse. That's why I live for him till my days are done. You ain't gotta ask me Jesus, cause you're the one. You set me free. You're the one. You're my healer, God. You're the one. Check it out. You're my provider, my deliverer, and you're my savior. You're the one. Jesus, you're the one. You're the one. My savior, you're the one. You're the one. My provider, you're the one. Yeah. You're the one, Jesus. All right, here we go. You guys know what to do. You got to get hyped up, though. You guys look sleepy. When I say you're the one, you guys say you're the one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. You're the one. 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 That's why I live for him till my days are done. You ain't gotta ask me Jesus, cause you're the one.
We'll be right back after this. God is good. Then you better tell somebody. We'll be right back after this.
Sorry.
Layla, I'm not going to tell you again to stay out that street. Think that's dumb? Try living your life without God. God is the answer for the world today.
All right, we are back. I hope you guys enjoyed Mission. Give some more love for Mission, please. All right. Our next guest, we all have jobs in the public sector, and we're Christians. And sometimes it can be kind of hard keeping your religion and working for a place that won't let you talk about your religion. This young lady is going to come in today, and we're going to talk with her about how she does it. She is a first grade teacher at a Title I school. Please show some love for Amni. How you doing? Good. All right, come on, grab a seat. It's kind of narrow right there. You got to be careful. You're going to use this. There you go. All right, so a first grade teacher. That's all right. And so, how does God influence what you do?
Man, it is tough to be a teacher. It takes every part of your being as a person. It's emotional, it's spiritual, and it's physical. So I have to rely on God for everything that I do. When I step into that classroom, I have to be relying on Him.
Okay, and it's a Title I school.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about what a Title I school is?
So Title I is, well, we know about the No Child Left Behind Act that took place in the country quite a while ago. So the schools are measured by their success rate as far as standardized testing goes, and also the poverty levels. So it's a very high poverty level, and the standardized testing scores are pretty low. So that qualifies it as a Title I school.
Okay. And so you have, so in first grade, I can imagine, how many first graders do you have?
I have 22 first graders,
Ooh.
6 and 7 years old. So
wow.
it's very tiring.
I can imagine. I mean, I have kids myself. And
yeah.
First grade is, woo, and 22 of them?
Yes.
Oh, you need some Jesus.
I absolutely
You need a lot of Jesus.
I do, yeah.
And so being in Title I and you see some kids with certain problems, how do you connect with them? And how do you connect? So what I'm trying to ask is, how do you connect with them? Because you know Christ is the way, and Christ is all. He can help any problem. He's a problem solver. How do you connect with them without actually saying Christ?
Yeah, and that's one hard part about my job, is because a lot of the problems will be solved if they did know Christ. It kind of gives you that peace and the understanding that everything will be okay despite your situation, and there's a lot of pretty bad situations. So personally for myself, as you said, it's hard when you are in a public, job where Christ is not necessarily allowed in and have the freedom to express those types of things. But I think that, one, I pray for my students all the time. That's very important, and my coworkers, and just ask the Spirit to come and be within all of us there, because it's a team effort. It's all of us there together. And then as far as what I do with my students to show the Christ character is just being loving and kind, and I hope that I inspire them because if you knew some of the things that they go through, you look at them and they're just so little, and it's sad, So I just try my best every day, despite when they're lashing out at me or when things aren't going quite right, to just, stay grounded in Christ and show that to them by giving them kindness and love and just that, attention that they need to be successful. So.
All right. Now, have you ever seen God work when you're doing your job? When you're there, you're meeting with a young person, and you just see God move in that young person. Do you have any story like that?
I did have one student who was very, very difficult, and I didn't know what to do. I would come home and I was just thinking about it all the time because this student was so troubled that she was a big distraction to everyone and everything, and it was kind of like a tornado wherever she went. And so I was just praying to God for help and inspiration on how to reach out to that student. And it came to me that she's lacking real love. And I decided, you know, no matter how many times she's lashed out and said some pretty mean things and has been insulting other people and even insulting me, she's just a little girl, you know? And so I prayed and God showed me that maybe I should take it a few steps above just being kind, and I invited her to have lunch with me. And you know, that's kind of the teacher's personal time when you get to kind of take a break and step away for a minute. But I decided to bring her into my classroom and have lunch with her. And the way that her face just lit up, and she was so excited she could hardly even eat. That was a really good moment, and I felt like after that day, things started to get better. And unfortunately, she's no longer with us in my classroom anymore, but things certainly started to get better from that day moving forward. Because before that, like I said, it was like a tornado.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy is that the blessing goes both ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, it's like it helps her, but it also helps you.
Absolutely.
And then when you see Christ in someone else, sometimes you might be the only Christ anyone ever meets.
Yeah.
And even though you can't talk about Christ, because we get caught up in talking. You know, I can tell you all about, let me tell you about Jesus. But it's to show Jesus is the trick. Let me show you Jesus. That's something completely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will even say that my students have even changed me. I myself feel more compassionate and more patient and more kind. And that comes from just, you know, showing them that Christian character every day.
Exactly.
So.
All right. So usually what I do this little thing called rapid fire. And so I always ask you questions, and you just say the first thing that pops off your mind, no cussing. And I throw that out there as a precursor, because sometimes, you know, I don't know how we all live in our private lives, so you might get caught up. But this time I'm going to finish this sentence.
Okay.
If I would have won the $1 billion, I would have
bought a few houses, some cars, and saved.
All right. I know God is real because
I'm here, I'm walking, I have a nice job, I have a great family, and I'm just living.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, Amni, show us some love. We'll be right back after this. God is good. Then you better tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Layla, I'm not going to tell you again to stay out that street. Think that's dumb? Try living your life without God. God is the answer for the world today.
All right, here to perform for us once again, please show some love for Mission.
All right, thank you. This song that I'm going to do now is called Not Stopping Me, and basically it's just a declaration that says no matter what trouble or trials or tribulations or whatever word you choose to use, nothing is going to stop me from living for God, right? Because the word says, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So the song is called Not Stopping Me. Every day the devil's trying to battle me, but I refuse to be the enemy's casualty. He can kill himself trying, but it don't bother me. What Mary say, yo, it's the God in me. That keeps me moving, that keeps me pressing on. The devil's little plan ain't nothing that I'm stressing on. I'm a child of God with power and authority. I'ma get mine and the devil ain't shorting me. He can cash that, I bet your last dollar that. I'ma get mine, if you with me then holler back, press towards the mark. Yo, I'm not stopping, never giving up, cause quitting ain't an option. The enemy's tactics are always the wackest. Listen, the fact is you never outlast us. I'ma keep going and do it to the end, so he can be gone with the wind. Me be defeated, that's a short lie. I got the VICTORY, raise the banner high, let it touch the sky. The enemy loves to scheme, but he's such a lie. The fight is fixed, there's no way I'm losing it. God's word is real and he's always proving it. At the end of the day, you're just wasting your time, cause the victory is claimed and it's already mine. Hey, no, you're not stopping me, loser. No, you're not stopping me. I know that you're clocking me, eye on me, and watching me, but it don't matter because you're not stopping me. No, you're not stopping me, loser. No, you're not stopping me. I know that you're clocking me, eye on me, and watching me, but it don't matter because you're not stopping me. No, you're not stopping me, loser. No, you're not stopping me. I know that you're clocking me, eye on me, and watching me, but it don't matter because you're not stopping me. No, you're not stopping me, loser. No, you're not stopping me. I know that you're clocking me, eye on me, and watching me, but it don't matter because you're not stopping me. I got the victory, got the victory. 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 Victory's mine, victory's mine.
All right. Listen, show us some more love. All right. Well, we've come to the end of our show, and I'd like to thank you all for coming out. I'd like to special thank my guests. Listen, show us some love. All right. Amni, show her some love. All right. I'd like to thank my camera people. I got to go through and thank everybody because this show takes a lot of people, a lot of input, but I wouldn't be right if I didn't thank them. So I'd like to thank all my camera people who are here. Brother Rozier, Marcel Jenkins, and Sister Yolanda, thank you for coming. I'd like to thank in the booth, I'd like to thank Brother Bird, Brother David, and also Brother Earl, I think is back there. I'd like to thank them for coming out. I'd like to thank Brother Ngozi will be up there on the sound. Thank you. All right, I'd like to thank the deacons who opened up the church for us. I always thank them because then when we be in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, deacons, so much. And the voice that brought me in was my father, Henry Arthur Jenkins Sr. Thank you, Bob, for bringing me in. I'd also like to take the time to thank all of you for coming out to support. Remember, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how high the hill is, God is good. God is good. Then don't keep it to yourself. Tell somebody. We'll see you next time. Thank you again.